Oh God, some people.
Right, and it is recording, just thought I'd point that out.
And there's the intro.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the next Red Rose cast. And as you can see, there's 4 of us. That's mental. I can't believe it. Because we happen to have a special guest with us today, and he's right down there. Who are you?
Hello, I'm Matt. I'm part of Warp Dimension Media, and I'm a fellow content thief.
Yes.
I will never not make that joke.
So recently, we've had basically a load of news about Volume 8. We've had quite a few info drops. So that's why we brought Matt in, because we were like, you know what? We need someone else's opinion, because we always have the same bloody opinions.
And I need to talk RWBY stuff, because I haven't done that in months, and I need to vent about stuff.
Release the valve every now and again, you know?
Yeah.
Release the pressure.
Unlimited pressure. Anyway. Pretty much as implied by the end of Volume 7, Volume 8 is going to basically start straight away. Like straight after the end of Volume 7. So we'll go from there. Steve, you like to talk. I'll let you go.
Oh, God. Well, as we know from the end of Volume 7, Crow and Robin are heading towards Atlas.
Yeah.
All of Team RWBY, Penny, Pietro, and Maria are heading away from Atlas. Then we've got Oscar, who's below Atlas. And then we've got Cinder, Neo, Iwood, Winter, and Watts in Atlas. So everyone's quite spread apart by the end of this, like the end of last volume. So, and then obviously we've got Salem coming towards Atlas from a different direction.
A giant whale, because you don't get more badass than that. Let's be real here.
Leading into Volume 8 with that, assuming it starts straight away, I imagine one of the first things we're going to see is RWBY and the gang turning around and actually heading back towards Atlas instead of just going towards Mantle.
I can say what happens if that actually just doesn't happen at all, and Team RWBY they go all the way over to Vacuo, and the entire season Team RWBY is not there at all, and it's just Ironwood and Ozpin and everyone else who's around that doesn't have a main character in it at all.
Hey, and make the voice acting a crap ton easier.
Creative correction for the show.
Yeah.
Not the title characters in it.
Yeah, it's like RWBY, but they're all crossed out, and it's like, no.
It's just...
Yeah, so because it starts straight after the end of Volume 7, it's also been revealed that the length of time that in canon length of time that Volume 8 is going to take place in is 1 to 2 days. So like in between that sort of time period, which means it's in canon, it's an incredibly short volume. It's going to be pretty insane. So what do we all think about that in general? What do we think they're going to do with that? I'll let you go first, Max. You're a special guest here.
I'm kind of quite curious about how they're going. Oh, hang on, I've forgotten the word already. Hang on. See, I told you this was going to happen. That was it. I'm wondering how they're going to pace it, because obviously you've got so much. I mean, assuming they said that the episodes themselves are going to be slightly longer as well.
Yeah.
Say it's getting to that kind of proper anime kind of time scale. Every couple of episodes is focused on a different character and what they're going through, or if they're going to be kind of mixing it all together kind of thing. Because if they do end up doing that, hopefully it ends up a little bit more organized than Volume 4 and Volume 5 were, because obviously when they had the 4 main characters kind of completely split up, the writing did suffer because they didn't have time to fit everything into the one volume. So hopefully the fact that it's only over a couple of days, which, fun fact, I only learned about yesterday when you messaged me about it. So I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
But, that's the first time I've actually been behind on RWBY news, which basically never happens.
Son.
Yeah. But so yeah, it'll be interesting to see how well that's going to be handled. I'm pretty optimistic.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll go around the circle. And Jordan, what do you think?
I will be fair.
All right, thanks, Jordan. Steve, what do you think?
I will be fair with it. The reason I think they're doing it is because everyone says how good the back half of Volume 3 was. Like when everything goes to crap.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's what they've basically done. Everybody loves that. Let's do that for an entire season. Say there is hypothetically 15 episodes that are all 20, 30 minutes long. You are basically looking at an entire day in real time, like entire 1 to 2 days, in very little cut out of it.
Mm.
Well,
yeah.
I was going to say, I've actually basically calculated this because I got
Of
bored.
course.
Oh, God. Time for a Steve calculation. Right? There we go.
Assuming it took exactly 48 hours from what we know, and there's longer, we'd be expecting more. That only just slightly more though than 4.2% of like the actual time it would take. But that sounds quite low, but compared to like past volumes that haven't been more than 0.1% of the actual time in their timeline, that's a massive like up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that entire thing though, I think could be quite concerning. Because as you say, you've got there less than 0.1% of a thing, times in that up to 5%. You don't want it to just have too much filler and just get boring very quickly because they didn't really know what else to do. I would have much rather them had it a week. I am a bit worried with the time period, I will be honest.
Yeah.
But I would like to be proven wrong.
Yeah, of course. Steve?
Well, what I was going to say was I can't picture Volume 9 continuing on this battle, right?
Oh, God,
I feel it's gonna all end within these, well, let's call it 48 hours. And that really makes me concerned for like RWBY and all that, because I feel like they would struggle to win that size of a battle in that little a time.
Mm.
Yes.
And the only thing I can think of is, well, is there anything we know where one side could essentially decimate the others very quickly? And there is just one thing I can think of.
Are you thinking like in terms of Marvel? Yeah.
Yeah. Either that or, well, the only way that would happen is if they like either use the relic or Salem took the relic, one of the two.
Yeah.
Because they could use the relic to and just be like, haha, I have ultimate power now.
Yeah.
Yeah. All I'm saying is I'm having visions of like an end of Infinity War stuff by the end of this volume.
That would be
where it
pretty
looks like
cool.
it's just like, oh fuck.
Oof. That would be a real oof. Ooh. Damn.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real. Salem's attacking Atlas. No, not everybody's gonna survive.
No,
that.
I'm honestly seeing some sort of major character death. Maybe someone like Ironwood.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Potentially, I could see them killing off Pietro for like tugging on the heartstrings kind of thing. Maybe him dying in Penny's arms or something, just to rub a little bit extra salt in the wounds.
Oh God!
I mean, to be fair, because there's potentially going to be, depending on how things play out, there could be up to 4 different factions fighting in this.
Yes.
So you got Team RWBY and Juniper and etc. You've got Salem and her forces. You got Ironwood and his forces, depending on whether or not I can't see him siding or letting RWBY side with him after everything that's happened. He's definitely
agree.
Yeah, I agree.
And the other one is Cinder, because basically I've been going back and forth in my mind. I honestly don't think she's just going to up and give the relic to Salem. Not after everything that's happened.
No.
I don't see that happening at all.
I think pretty much everything what you guys have said kind of encompasses what I think, as well, with the fact that it's over 1 to 2 days. And
Mm.
if you look back on RWBY, there are mixed examples of this going well and going badly. Because, like you said, Jordan, the end of Volume 3 is arguably the best moment in pretty much all of RWBY. Right? It's absolutely amazing. It's, in a way, the best part of the best volume to quite a few people.
Despite how soul-crushing it was.
Yeah, oh yeah, 100%. I still can't watch that scene, like, ever. But, but it's fine. But yeah, it was still absolutely, like, incredibly well made and everything like that. But then, like you said, Matt, go to Volume 4, like pretty much the entirety of Volume 4 and like the end of Volume 5, it didn't work.
It was a mess.
Yeah, its pacing was very up and down and left and right and up and down all around, and it was just a little bit messy. So it's, I have faith, I have hope that they are going to do well. Like, they've had enough time to work on it, so they should do well. We'll just have to see, really. And ironically, that also kind of comes to the next big point about Volume 8, and that is the fact that the episodes are generally going to be longer.
Yeah.
What do we all think about that then? Steve, we'll go opposite around the way around.
Well, what I would like, because they're doing it where you're getting a lot is, and you don't see it that often used in different medias, but it's where, I know they could easily quite do it because it's literally not real, because most of the time when this tries to get used, it's in like live action stuff. But it's where like they're following like a battle, and then the camera's like almost like a drone. It's just like swerves around, and then it goes to another battle, but like it's like one shot, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like it's weaving round the action. I'd love to see moments like that in this battle scenario. So you're looking at maybe one group fighting, then the like camera like zooms somewhere else, and you see another group fighting.
That would be really, really cool. I'm a massive fan of when literally any form of media does that. I mean, I know there's. I could see what would almost be cool is a kind of a. Was it 1917? The film, which was all one shot.
One run, didn't it?
That would be really, really cool. Obviously, that would be a hell of a lot of work and probably not in their budget.
Yeah.
But something on those sorts of lines where you go from one fight to another. That would be pretty damn awesome. I must say.
That would be amazing.
That would be awesome. What are your thoughts, Jordan?
Only with that though, I'd say if it may, I wouldn't just want them to do it to do it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want a random fight with Team RWBY and Salem.
Do it.
Then to Team Juniper and do it. I'd want it blended well and for it to make sense to cut between the two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with the it taking over 1 or 2, it being longer, to me implies there are going to be more lore dumps.
Yeah,
I could see that happening.
Yeah, same. But again, it's like you've got this giant freaking battle going on, but then Nora's just suddenly going to go, you know what? It's time for my backstory. No, like, we want that a little bit later. Like, can that come a little bit later, please? Like,
I mean, there could be kind of like downtime between fights. Like, I wouldn't see. I mean, for one thing, it would put way too much stress on their animators to do nothing but a full season of fights. There's got to be moments where maybe her forces are retreated, or they're taking cover, or they're just generally hiding. I reckon they probably will fit something like that in there at some point. But also going to the thing of more time of like longer episodes, but shorter in terms of canon time.
Yeah.
They could do a lot more kind of going into a lot more detail in story elements than they have done in the past, which is something I'm really looking forward to. Because having not read the companion guide since I got it, apart from 1 or 2 pages of certain characters,
same.
I reckon they could do some really interesting stuff, figure out ways of working things which have maybe been theorized or mentioned in other media, but then actually properly bringing it into the show and kind of linking everything together.
Yeah,
That
I
could
get
be
what you mean,
interesting,
yeah.
depending on how they do it or what
Yeah.
they do. Like,
Yeah.
I could totally see that because, like, there's quite a few things that seem to come up in like World of Remnants, but then never seem to actually be relevant in a way.
Yeah, there's quite a few of them, isn't there?
Yeah. I mean, you can get an idea of just how much stuff isn't expanded on just from watching General Apocalypse's.
Oh,
This is
God.
basically
Just
RWBY.
about-
I love that video. It's like, watch as Steve introduces a million side characters, develops none of them, and then the school blows up.
Yeah, yeah, it's almost scary how on the money that is.
I know.
But it's such a
They
good
even
video.
predicted Penny in it.
Yeah.
I know.
What we need to see is Jacques in prison and someone grabbing him by his tie and then them realizing it is in fact a clip-on.
Oh my God! Confirm the theories, everybody.
Oh my God, that
I could
would be
totally
so
see
good.
them doing that.
They just try to strangle him with it and it just flips off.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would actually be brilliant.
I could totally see like Tyrion breaking Watts out, and then Tyrion goes to grab Jacques by his tie, and the tie just coming off. I'm looking at him, just kind of going back and forth, laughing and just leaving him.
Jock just punches him.
Do you think because we know he's still in Atlas, he's locked up. Assuming, I'm imagining that he's probably going to get broken out by some point. But
Yeah.
do you guys think, because we know he worked on Penny, that somehow he could take control of Penny in some way?
I feel that if they were to have done that, they'd have done it in the night, because the nightclub scene was always to make it frame Penny.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
why
that's a good
have
point.
Tyrion do all that work if Watts could literally have hacked Penny?
Yeah.
Because Tyrion likes to kill people, mate. You can't deny him that.
Well,
like
you
a
can't
human
deny
right.
it, but it would make more sense and be easier to not disprove.
Mm.
No, mate. What are you talking about?
Rather than what's going, oh, I'm going to build it this way, it's, oh, I'll just fix it all in post. Every filmmaker knows that.
Ultimate YouTuber.
Yeah.
Because there was that meme of Ozpin and Salem going like my response video to Salem kind of thing. I'm just watching like thinking what's being a side person just like doing his own videos saying, oh, this is nonsense, this is what it's literally just what's is just going to be simping for Salem the whole time in his YouTube videos.
Oh dear.
Oh my God.
All right, so probably the biggest thing that I think has been told about Volume 8 is that they're taking a lot more inspiration from the fans, pretty much. So like their comments on like the YouTubes, and I can't believe I just said the YouTube. Yeah. Yeah.
Harry has suddenly turned into a boomer.
Yeah. Mate, I feel like one sometimes when I see all the crap all these young people are doing. But anyway. Yeah, they're taking a lot of inspiration from fan comments and criticisms and things like that, and also like fan creations and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
So that can lead to a hell of a lot, really. So what do we all think about that? Good thing, bad thing, indifferent? How do we feel? Matt, you go first.
I'm glad that they're doing it because
Okay.
obviously Rooster Teeth is a lot bigger than when they first started doing it, because obviously they've done fan stuff in the past. So obviously they've done the Velvet's outfit is created by a fan, and then also the whole of Team Indigo in Volume 3, they were also fan
I didn't know that
characters. Yeah, which is why I'm kind of regretting that I got into the game late, because otherwise my character could be canon. But no, I think it's a cool thing to see them getting back in with the community side of it. Obviously, they've had the new the Grimm competition, which I thought was a really cool idea. There's a lot of very, very cool Grimm designs out there. I mean, if you've seen Dishwasher's Grimm Team RWBY and all the other characters, does some amazing designs. And it's good that they're taking on from that sort of thing. Obviously, there was the kind of the controversy around.
Yeah, less said about that, the better.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still kind of excited for. I mean, but I thought most of the designs were pretty damn cool. So it is nice to see that they are bringing community-led things. And at the end of the day, you've got to listen to your audience in terms of feedback, because I mean, obviously there's the thing of like, yeah, it's their show. They can kind of do what they want. They shouldn't be swayed this way or the other by like a very verbal few, because you obviously, with the RWBY community being what it is, there's plenty of people who have very strong opinions about literally anything in that show.
Oh,
but it's nice that when there's more kind of constructive feedback, obviously they are very well aware about the issues that they've had in the past to do with, again, drawing back to the end of Volume 5. They knew that didn't go particularly well, and that was quite a bit of a disappointment in terms of those fights. So it is nice to see that they are listening and are bringing on some new ideas. I mean, Eddie Rivas, one of the new writers, he was, before he even worked on RWBY, he was the lore master pretty much, so he knew everything, would have these brilliant ideas. And so the fact that they brought him on as a writer, and then
that's awesome.
Just generally having their extra team, like they basically doubled in size in terms of writers. They can do a lot of very cool stuff. So I'm quite excited to see what exactly they can be doing. And just so long as people don't make any videos like, oh, Rooster Teeth stole this person's idea, they should do sort of kind of thing. But, no,
we're looking at you, Hero High. We're looking at you.
Yeah. I'm going to say, watch the day after this video gets released. It's going to be Fractured Moon is a hateful YouTube channel. As long as they handle it well, I'm glad to hear it.
I completely agree with that. Ironically, most of what we just spoke about will probably be cut in edit and put in scene. But anyway, Gordon, I know you had a lot to say when we spoke about this a while ago. So what do you think? What do you think?
It depends to the degree and how they do it.
Yes.
Because I agree that you should listen to your community in certain areas. But at the same time, the community themselves are not writing the show.
Yes.
They weren't there when Monty created the idea and had the vision for it.
Yeah.
So if they want, I don't know, Neo and Cinder to be shipped.
Yeah.
Okay.
That, to me, they shouldn't do that because the fans are demanding it. Oh yeah, we would like to see Nora's backstory. Providing that Nora already had a backstory and they can implement it, fair enough.
Agreed.
But to me, they shouldn't really have a say on major character development.
Yeah.
Yes.
If they get a say in that, they can completely alter
They basically direct the show. Yeah.
I think it's going to have to be a case of listen to suggestions, not demands.
Yes.
That is the perfect way to almost bullet point this entire sentence for this entire discussion. But yeah, despite that, we're still going to listen to what Steve has to say. Steve?
Yeah, well, I was going to say a very similar thing to what John just said about you. It's okay to take little things that maybe like grim designs or anything, like just maybe like even costume designs, like stuff that doesn't like directly affect the like flow of the story.
Yeah,
anything
100%.
That's like, but to be honest, most aesthetics are completely fine. It's like, like say someone came along and went, oh, I've got this design for Vacuo, which we haven't seen yet, but we know this about it. And they take elements from that design, that'd be perfectly fine. But if somebody went, oh, I've got this complete script of how Vacuo has to act and behave and its rules and all stuff like that, then it's like, no, That's for the writers to decide, not
Yeah.
for the fans to decide.
Yeah, exactly. It's drawing the line between like what the writers have to do and what the fans can do, really.
Yes.
And I think that's it. So, like, I'll be honest, when I very first saw that sentence of like, oh yeah, fans are taking a bit of control, I was a bit like, oh no. Like, I was genuinely like, oh dearie me, because especially when they were like, oh yeah, we look at like YouTube comments and that, and I'm just like, oh dear God. Because the only thing I ever see with RWBY YouTube comments is, oh my God, Bumblebee! And I'm like, oh God. I'm just there, I'm just like, mate, like,
But it definitely needs to be done correctly, because
100%.
if they rush it, people aren't going to be happy. It's like, okay, it might be that instant gratification, but then later on they're going to say, oh, this wasn't well written, why didn't they put more time into this?
Yeah.
So it definitely needs to be done in a way that allows them to develop things at a good pace, well written, you know, so that it doesn't just seem like, oh, we're doing it just because of the fans or just because of this or for a reason like that, but a reason that would for the story make a lot of sense. Which at the minute, obviously, we've got at least the very basis of they've been through a lot together, kind of thing. And then when they expand on that more and more, which is why I liked moments in Volume 7. So the bit where Blake and Yang are in the back of the van to go and find Robin.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was a really,
Oh,
really
yeah.
well written conversation. The fact
was.
that they both just sat down and talked about what happened. And if we can get more moments like that, which are that well written, I think the future of those two characters, I reckon it's in pretty good hands.
If they are almost taking like fan suggestions, I would want to ask, what do you three want to see yourselves from Volume 8? It could be literally anything you want within somewhat reason. We'll go the opposite way around and we'll go to Steve first.
Oh damn! Because I'm gonna have to think about mine though. Can't you go to someone first?
All right, fine. We'll go the normal way around. Matt, we'll go to you first. Then.
I think the one thing which I'd like to see, which it's not been confirmed in any way, and so far from what I can tell, it's just fan speculation. But it's definitely well overdue. But Cinder's backstory.
Yeah.
What I noted quite a bit in, obviously she's got it out for pretty much everyone, but in particular when she's fighting against Winter, she seemed to have quite the grudge against Atlas higher-ups. Now the theory that I've seen floating around is that if you, in the picture that Pietro has of the scientist who works on Penny, there is a woman who looks pretty similar to Cinder.
All right.
Now and it's on a similar sort of vein to how in Brunswick's Farms you can kind of see someone who's probably Roman and probably Neo. Now a theory around Cinder is that she could possibly be Jacques Schnee's illegitimate daughter with that scientist. And you see the reason why, because think about it, she's based on Cinderella. Now, Cinderella had two evil stepsisters and a horrible stepmother as well. So I'm thinking this could potentially be a thing which is then flipped on its head. So Cinderella is evil, and then the father is not a nice person either, but the mother and then the two stepdaughters are actually nice. So that being Winter and Weiss.
Holy hell, that's awesome! I really like that.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. Just a disclaimer. That was not my idea. I saw that on either YouTube or Twitter or something. I don't know who it is. I don't claim responsibility for that at all. But if it does happen, I called it.
But in a way, it's the same vein. I would not just Cinder. I would want a deeper explanation. Maybe not Salem, because we obviously know Salem's backstory.
Yeah.
But I would want a little bit more deeper explanation around some of the other like B and C tier villains in it, rather than just, I don't know, Tyrion was a bit psycho and met Salem. I'd want to know why he descended into madness. I'd want a bit more on Hazel, apart from obviously his thing. I know it's awful to cosplay, but I forgot which relative dies.
It was his sister.
Yeah.
Sister.
Oh yeah, sister. Yeah.
Because
Sorry, I'll cut
Hansel
that
and
bit, John.
Gretel.
You'll be fine.
I'd want to know a bit more, and I'd want to know a little bit more about Mercury and Emerald as well.
Oh
Wait,
yeah,
I
I
just-
100% agree with that. Yeah.
Mm.
Last volume, they did a lot of good development, and now want to see that passed on to the villains as well as the heroes.
The one thing that I'd love to see in this volume, and if we don't get it, I would be very surprised, and that's Salem actually physically fighting herself.
All right, no,
And we
I'm cutting
see-
you. I'm cutting you off. You're not allowed to steal my. You're not allowed to steal my point. I'm cutting you off. Get out.
So yeah, I'd like to see Salem like essentially doing a Thanos and going like just literally it's like at the start of Infinity War, he just goes around and just takes down people with ease. Like
You're
the high
You're an
hitting
absolute
ones.
bitch. Like, I was literally going to use the Thanos comparison as well. Like, what the hell? Literally nicked everything I was going to say. Christ almighty. But
I've just had an idea.
ooh, go
In
for it.
terms of, because obviously Salem's not like, she's not really bulky or anything. You don't really
No,
see
no.
her potentially as an actual melee fighter.
Yeah.
Now, something that I've had a thought about is the design for the Grim, which did actually win the
Yeah.
was it the
silverfish.
lava like the kind of a grim silverfish kind of thing. The fact that
Yeah.
they basically swarm the enemy or they
Yeah.
can turn into something. Now
It looks
imagine
really
that,
nice.
but kind of Bayonetta style. So Salem's dress is actually made out of those fish. She points them, and then it goes after someone, but not quite so much on the risque side.
Yeah, I was going
But
to say,
I could. I mean, to be fair, someone's probably done Rule 34 about already. You know what what literally anyone on the internet is like. But I could see her literally just doing a kind of a thing where she just points, and then the whole kind of like the landscape around her just swarms off and just starts going towards good guys. Just to, that'd be a really cool visual. Just see this kind of dark cloud just slowly kind of
Jesus.
come towards, just unstoppable.
What if that's what the whale is? The whale's just made of those silver.
The whale is
Oh
like
my
millions and
God.
millions of fish.
Yeah, holy crap, that would be awesome. God damn, that would be so cool. But yeah, I do want to see Salem doing something. Sorry, Steve, I want to actually say something. Don't you steal my next point again? No, I actually do want to see Salem do something. Like, everybody is so crap scared of Salem. I want to see why. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost, I guess, in a way, like we mentioned, well, Steve mentioned it earlier. It is a little bit like Thanos, I guess. Like, everybody's scared of this guy, but all he does is sit in a chair. Now all of a sudden we've actually seen what he can do, and holy crap, I know why people are scared of him. So I want the exact same thing, but Salem. I want her to just walk through Atlas. You know, like, people are going to try and stop her. I just want her to just do that and be away with them. You know what I mean? Like, that would be great.
Everyone's afraid for their house insurance because she just destroyed all of the glass. She just destroyed all of the glass in her castle just like that. She just walks through Atlas, all the glass just shatters. Now everyone just freezes to death. Like, damn, both. We should have gone for that double glaze.
Yeah, I was going to say you got the double glazing salesman in the background. Like, yes.
It's secretly Jacques Schnee, but with a different moustache and goggles and a fake nose.
So we know that she has some level of control over Grimm.
Yeah.
But as we've seen Grimm in the past, like at Beacon and that, they're not exactly really coordinated in how they attack. They're just sort of like, what's the word? Like berserker attacking, if you know what I mean. They're just mindlessly attacking. But do you think that now she's with them, they're actually going to attack in almost like a kind of formation where every attack is worse than it would normally be when the Grimm attack?
So the Grimm are actually a threat this time?
Yeah.
Well, not necessarily just a threat, but more like...
They're a coordinated effort, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, instead of just... They're like actually
rather than just cannon fodder for Team RWBY to kill
Yes,
and look
exactly.
cool. They actually that would be cool. I like that.
That would be awesome. It'd be nice to almost like, was it Volume 4? Yeah, it was in
Kyuriyuri?
That's it. Thanks. Yeah, like when you see the Grimm attack Kyuriyuri,
Yeah.
they actually almost come across as scary, even though we've seen them infinite amount of times before. But they come across as scary because these are just normal people. It would be awesome to see that, but also see that with huntsmen and huntresses as well. Like to see them kind of like crap themselves because the Grimm are now actually going to be threatening rather than just going pew and they're gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would be awesome to see.
To be fair, I could see them feeling more towards the fact that it's not they are coordinated. It's the fact there's just a bit like zombies. There's just so damn many of them. Like one huntsman will go, "Oh, nice! I've cut it off. Oh crap! There's one behind me." Get stabbed. You know what I mean?
Maybe a mix of the two or something would probably be the best way to go. Yeah.
It's just going to be really freaking interesting to see what they're going to do because there are 101 cards that they could play. All of them could be incredibly interesting. So we will have to see what they do.
I know for one thing that when Volume 8 does release, you bet every single episode I'm going to be wearing my Volume 7 Yang cosplay. Just every single time.
Oh, that would be amazing. We need to get you down and we need to do a react all in cosplay. That would be so awesome.
Yes,
Awesome.
let's do that.
That would be amazing if we could actually see each other without getting arrested.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with any luck, by the time maybe Volume 8 at some point, maybe the Volume 8 finale, that might be good because I can travel up north now, or I have more reason to. But yeah, no, I reckon that would be cool. Stop off on the way.
Cool. Yeah, that would be well freaking cool. This sounds like a plan, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Make sure to subscribe to see that. There we go. That's how we do it.
Hit that bell.
Yeah, ring the bell. Hey, don't steal Steve's lines, all right?
Why? Well, would you not want revenge at all since he stole so many of yours? Let's get a professional thief here to steal some of his.
I mean, look, I'll send you the payment later, but don't talk about it. All right. Any last comments from everybody? Any last comments?
Just please be good, Volume 8. Please listen to us.
Yeah, let's not let any of the recent crap bring you down. Just make a good volume because that's what we want. That's all I can really say, and that's kind of everything. So, yeah, we are done. So, thanks a lot for joining us, Matt. Much appreciated.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
Enjoyed it. It was a good time. Yeah, enjoyed it.
Yeah, you better have. Again, I'll send that money later.
You name my PayPal.
I wish. Suddenly you have huge bills for random merchandise. Like, what the hell? Remember, guys, drop a like,
leave a comment,
subscribe's always appreciated,
and don't forget to ring the notification bell to hear about our latest videos.
I'll say something too.
Yeah,
and so will I. Subscribe to What Dimension.
No plugs.
Also, go do that. They do make some really good stuff, and especially the stuff that we're in.
We have no content because of Corona. We literally don't have anything planned.
Thanks again for watching, everybody. See you next Red Rose cast.
Bye.
Oh crap, I forgot where
You
this
start
started.
recording, my arms hurting.
All right.